So you managed to screw up Afghanistan even worse than it already was. I'm Bobtheorc, and welcome to the unfortunate solution for Afghanistan. John Wayne once said that life is hard. Life is even harder if you're stupid. Well, we were stupid. We shouldn't even be in Afghanistan in the first place, but since we're there, we need to deal with it responsibly. And right now, that's not what we're doing. We can assign blame later. There's plenty of blame to go around. Right now, we need to focus on solving our current problems. So, failed retreats cost lives. In most conflicts, the greatest casualties occur when an army is retreating. In this case, our army pulled out before we got our citizens out, and this is creating a big mess. In addition, it's creating a giant humanitarian crisis that we're responsible for. And as much as I don't want us to be in Afghanistan, I don't want a lot of dead bodies on our hands either. And taking in millions of refugees due to the crisis we've caused, or dealing with a tremendous amount of death, is not a good option. So we've got basically two solutions. The first solution is we can just continue to leave and let people fend for themselves, and we already know that's a terrible idea. It's not working, and it's only going to get worse. The other option, which I don't like, but we're sort of stuck with it, is we could send in troops, conquer Kabul and other key locations, and secure our people. In addition, Afghanistan has something like $1 trillion in rare earth resources and other raw materials that can be used for a whole variety of things. And we can use this to recoup much of our expense that we've suffered over the last 20 years. And realistically, we're going to have to keep a minimal long-term presence. Afghanistan is an unconquerable place, as the entire country. The people are not going to yield, and they will fight forever because that's what they do. They are fantastic warriors that we have underestimated for decades. Unfortunately, if we leave, we're in a really nasty spot too. So we have to choose the better of the two bad decisions. First off, we can let the military do its job without restrictive rules of engagement. There's already going to be collateral damage. We're going to suffer tremendous losses, and if we unleash the military and let them behave like a military instead of like a police force, we will get the pain over with quickly, and we will minimize the surplus death. Also, we have to consider that a weak United States will embolden China. China's already making threats for Taiwan. We know they want to conquer it, and they have already threatened to invade Taiwan and kill any Americans there. Whether you like it or not, we are in a Cold War with China, and we have been for several decades. They're just the only ones who have been fighting it. So now we need to consider the long-term strategic problem that we face. We don't want to be the world's police force, but we also can't abandon everything right now and look weak to the world, because we will be tested. And if we lose our prominent spot as the world's premier military power, then we will be tested in many ways. And unfortunately, the illusion of American supremacy that we've managed to maintain since the collapse of the Soviet Union is starting to fall. And if we look past Afghanistan at the bigger picture, if an emerging China views us as weak, they will become the world's superpower. Whether we like it or not, we're the big boy on the block, and we have a certain responsibility. And nation building doesn't work. It just doesn't. We've been trying to do nation building for decades, and it doesn't work. And unfortunately, we need to accept the fact that we're going to have to be in a minimalistic maintenance mode certainly until Europe is willing to step up. Perhaps key countries in Africa and the Middle East will step up. Perhaps we can negotiate something with Russia. But realistically, we don't want to be letting our ideological opponents secure the world and be the world's police force, because then they will isolate us and strip us of the materials. And then instead of fighting the wars now, when we can choose the time and place and method of battle, we can choose to fight an economic war, much like how we fought the Cold War. If we allow our enemies to dominate the world and dictate the rules of engagement, then perhaps in a generation or so, then we will find ourselves at a great disadvantage, and we will have to face them anyway. So Afghanistan is really just the first domino, and we have to deal with it now. We cannot pull out. As much as I don't want us there, and we shouldn't be there, we're going to have to find a long-term sustainable solution to maintain Afghanistan. And instead of nation building, just conquer the key locations, extract the resources, save the people we can. And I don't like the solution. I don't want you to think that this is my first choice. My first choice was after 9/11 to just bomb the crap out of it, kill Osama bin Laden, and then leave, and never bother upsetting the tribal balance of power in Afghanistan. But since we're already here and now we're stuck with this bad situation, because we were stupid before, now we're stuck dealing with the mess now. And it's irresponsible for us to neglect our responsibilities, and we will suffer greater consequences in the future. And that is the sad truth of our reality. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. I'm sorry this was not a very happy video compared to my usual gaming stuff, but this is where we are. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to my channel. Come check me out on Locals, bobtheorc.locals.com. And don't be assholes to each other. There's already enough of that going around, and now is the time to show compassion and fortitude and courage. Thank you.